Hello and good day to all of you. So in this video lecture, we are going to look at the different type of artificial intelligence, such as AI, machine learning, deep learning, and also we will be focusing on generative AI. And also we look at the differences between them, how they differ from each other. Before starting the lecture, so we have some learning outcome of this part of the lecture. So the first learning outcome is to understand what is AI, ML, DL, and also the generative AI. And also, the second learning objective of this lecture is to look at the difference between them and also how the applications are different from each other and also with the examples. So let's look at the introduction about the AI, ML, DL, and generative AI. So if you look at the artificial intelligence, so it is any technique that enables computer to mimic human intelligence using logics, if then rules. Like if in the programming language we always use, if we have this way, other you can perform this, otherwise you can go this way, that way, else you can do that way. So we have different rules in basic programming languages like C++, Python, and also like we have in MATLAB as well. And also the decision tree and also the machine learning, including the deep learning. So that is also part of artificial intelligence. So the main onion of the AI is actually the artificial intelligence. Within that onion, so machine learning actually the subset of artificial intelligence and include the abstruse statistical techniques that enable the machine to improve at task with experience. In this, we have like supervised learning, unsupervised learning, reinforcement learning. So you can look at the further detail of these type of machine learning in the video above from that link. And also, it's enable the machine to improve the task with the experience, so which is called this supervised learning. And also, the category include also the deep learning. So if you look at the deep learning, so that is actually the subset of the machine learning. So in deep learning, actually it's a subset of machine learning composed of algorithm that permit software to train itself to perform the task, such as like speech, images recognition by exposing multi-layers neural network and also to vast amount of data. So now we are still listening a lot on generative AI, so that is used for ChatGPT or a lot of application you have been looking at the one. So that is actually using the generative AI. So that is the advanced version of machine learning or the artificial intelligence. So this actually focus on creating the models which capable of generating new content that resemble existing data. So like you have the data in the database, so you give some ideas or statement. Based on that statement, it will generate either the image or the data or either it's a text. So these models aims to generate content that is indistinguishable from what might be created by the human. So I mean, it's there is still some software which can detect either it's created by the machine learning or artificial intelligence. But by visualization, I mean, you cannot differentiate either it's created by human or it's generated by the robot or machine learning stuff or generative AI. So now let's look at the differences between them. So if you look at the difference from the artificial intelligence, machine learning, deep learning, so now we understand that the artificial intelligence is a big onion. I mean, then machine learning is subset of AI. Then deep learning is subset of machine learning. Generative AI is actually subset of deep learning. So I mean, if you go into this direction, it will be more improved and based on the different type of data. So artificial intelligence is actually the engineering of making something intelligent machine or program. It's also we can call the ability of machine to imitate like or duplicate the human intelligence. If you look at the machine learning, so it has the ability to learn without being explicitly programmed. So it means that the algorithms which incorporate in this intelligence into the machine by automatically learning from the data. So I mean, you give the data into the machine, and it will has different type of algorithms, like we have supervised, unsupervised, clustering, or regression analysis. So it will do automatically. I mean, in within the program without human interaction, and you will get the output based on the data. So now if you look at the deep learning, so it's actually has the capability of learning based on the deep neural networks. So how the neural network works, we will discuss in detail. So in this also we have the algorithms that mimic or to imitate or copy in action or speech, any type of data which you need actually. So the human brain to incorporate intelligence into the machine. I mean, in this it is also depend on the data, but there is some neural network which brings the different like you in our mindset we have the options um, to interpret the data. So let's say if you have the data from different sort of things, so you can come up with some conclusion. So that is actually the deep neural network works like that. And generative AI, which is the new, I mean, the idea, or not new, but it has been many years of having this thing. So it focuses on creating the models capable of generating new content that resemble existing data, like the image generation, content generation, so these type of things. And also, if you look at the new movie, which is name is Atlas, it was just released in 2024. So that movie also used the report, and also they synchronized their mindset with the human, and it can read, and it can behave same like a human. So that is actually one of the example of generative AI. So now we look at the differences between ML, DL, and AI. So what we'll be looking at? So these three machine learning, I mean the artificial intelligence or deep learning, and we will looking at what the data set requirement, how they do the learning, and also the task perform, and what type of algorithms we have, training time, and interpretability of use of the model. So let's look at what it is. So I think we are well aware of this one. So AI simulate the human intelligence to perform the task and make the decision. But ML is a subset of AI that uses the algorithms to learn pattern from the data. And DL is imply the artificial neural network for complex tasks. I mean, in this you have some specific limitation, but in this you have more control on the neural network, so it mimics or it predict from the data and interpret for you. So the data set requirement, so for AI you not require the large data set because it can use the predefined rules. I mean, you have some data, but you can define some rules, and it can use that rules to perform on that data. ML, which is machine learning, heavily relies on the labeled data for training and making prediction. Because if it is unlabeled data, that is called unsupervised learning, then it has some drawbacks, which you can look at the video, which is about the differences between um, machine learning algorithms. And also, they require extensively labeled data and perform exceptionally with the big data set. So in this, we need big data. And how the learning rules are defined. So AI can be rule-based, require human program and intervention, and ML automatic learning from the data and requires the less manual interventions. But DL, it's automatic feature extraction and reduce the need of the manual engineering. So that is the one of the advantage of the deep learning. If you look at the tasks performed, so AI can handle the various tasks like simple to complex across domain, but ML is specialized on data-driven tasks such as classification and regression, and DL, deep learning, excel the complex tasks like image recognition, the natural language processing, and much more things in the examples. If you look at the algorithm, so it's a simple and complex, deep depending on the application. But ML employ the various algorithms like decision tree, SVM, and random forest. So these also algorithms we are going to discuss in the lecture. And also I will put this link in the description box. So DL relies on the deep neural network, which can have numerously hidden layers from the complex learning. So the training time, obviously, this required less training time. It's a moderate, and also it's need substantial computer resources and the time for deep neural network. How about the interpretability? So this is interpretable results based on the human rules. Obviously, we have the rules defined by us. So the rules, following the rules, it will interpret. It will not go against the rule. But in this, we can have the rules, but based on that, it can create some other rules. So let's say if X depend on Y and Y depend on X. So but actually it is. So it will define the other rules like that. In DL, deep learning models are often considered less interpretable due to the complex neural or the network architectures. So what are the models they use? So like AI use the virtual assistant, recommendation system, and more. ML is applied to the image recognition, spam filtering, and other data tasks. And also DL, autonomous vehicles such speech recognition and advanced AI applications. So that is actually the main differences between these three artificial intelligence algorithms. So now we will look at, because AI, artificial intelligence is actually the big task, but mostly the people are confused with the machine learning and deep learning. What is the differences? So we will just differentiate in the three points. What is actually the difference between machine learning and deep learning? So if you look at the machine learning algorithms such as naive-Bayes logistic regression (SVM) are the term flat algorithms. And also these flat algorithms require the pre-processing phase, such as feature extraction, which is quite complicated and computationally expensive before being applied to the data set as image, text, or CBS files. For instance, or for example, if we want to determine whether the particular image is a cat or dog using machine learning model, we have to manually extract the feature from the image, such as the size, the color, and the shape, etc. And then give these features to the machine learning model to identify whether the image is of dog or the cat. But in deep learning, it's a different feature. So deep learning models do not require any feature extraction, like pre-processing steps, and are capable of classifying data into different classes and categories themselves. That is in the case of identification of the cat or dog, or any type of feature which you are looking for. In the image, we do not need to extract the feature from the image and give into DL model. So the image can be given as a direct input to the DL, deep learning model, whose job is to classify it without human interaction. So I mean, to classify based on either it's a cat, dog, it's either a different feature in your picture. So that will actually be defined by this one. So actually, if you look at the main difference, so in the deep learning, so we give the raw data, but in the machine learning, we give the pre-processed data to that machine learning model. But in deep learning, we just give the raw data. So that is the beauty of deep learning, which has more capability of extracting the feature from the data. So let's look at some of the examples. So I will just quickly look at the example. So you can pause the video and also you can read it, all the text which has been given. So let's say if we have like Google or virtual assistant, like in the Apple, we have Siri, Google Assistant, and Alex. So that actually understand the natural language and perform the task, and they will give you the answer. Like recommendation system, AI algorithm analyze user preference and behave to provide the personal recommendation of the products, movie, music, like it has been done in your YouTube channel or YouTube um, account. So you will be have suggested videos based on your own interests. Chatbot is also one of the AI-driven chatbot engage the natural language conversation with the user assistants with customer support, answering the question and provide the information. Image and video analysis, and also it can be used in language translation. It is also one of the AI-powered tool. in the Word, PowerPoint, and also the Google Translator is actually using the AI. Even if you have the video, let's say I'm talking to you in English, but I can translate it can automatically detect my voice and convert into the text. Then that text can be changed to any other language. The fraud detection, like AI system detect the fraudulent activities like transaction real time. So if you have the peak or the in the transaction, so automatically you will receive a call or from the bank, so they will pop up that there is a big activity has been done in your account. Also, like smart personalization, like it AI enables the personalized experiences in various applications such as the content recommendation, user interface, and the targeted marketing. Filtering, it can be used. Gaming also, it can be used. AI agent can play the game against the human player. So sometimes you feel that there is another guy is playing, but actually it is an AI player which is playing with you. Speech recognition, that what I gave you the example of the YouTube video. And robotic AI is used in the robotic and enable the machine to perform the complex tasks, interact with the environment, and learn the experience. So this robotic, actually, the example is the movie which I showed. I just mentioned you in this few minutes before, like the Atlas movie, which is released in 2024. And you can look at that, and it's actually following the robotic or AI models. They have the AI soldiers which follow the human activities. Music and art generation, it can be used. Security and surveillance, obviously. Let's look at some of the example of the machine learning. So, like image recognition, so in this you have the identification of the object, like people, pattern with the image. Use the facial recognition, like if you want to know how many people are in the room, or you want to detect the person with the face recognition. So it is very popular machine learning algorithms we are using. Natural language processing, speech recognition, again similar to the AI, but it has the advanced version. Recommendation system, the product, movie like content, similar to AI, we have in machine learning as well. It has in e-commerce, streaming platform, and personalized marketing as well. Anomaly detection. So this is actually identify the unusual pattern or the outlier in the data. So used in fraud detection or the fraud monitoring and the cyber security. Predictive maintenance. So it's predicting when the equipment or machinery may fail to enable the timely maintain, use in manufacturing industry settings. Also credit scoring. Then we have like health diagnostic systems, autonomous vehicle, which is actually very extensively using machine learning uh, algorithm because it enables the self-driving cars to navigate and make the decision based on the real-time data. So let's say if you're driving on the road, and it will automatically take the pictures of the surrounding, and it will process based on the previous information and know about the and learn from the previous experiences. Language generation, fraud detection, stock market prediction, customer segmentation, and also the personalized new feed. So it provides the user to tailor the news and content based on their interest and the reading habits. And also in deep learning, let's look at some of the example of the deep learning. So image classification, it has more extensive image classification, but in this you don't need human interaction. So it classifies the objects, scene, animals, images, use the photo organization automatically tagging them. Like in the machine learning, we tag it by ourselves, like this is a car, this is a dog, it is a cat. But in this, you have the automatic tagging and the medical image analysis, like if you have a tumor or some these type of sort of things, so it will automatically detect and give you the final results. Natural language processing, so this perform the advanced NLP task, natural language processing, such as the language translation, some sentiment analysis. Even if you look at some of the new application, like if so you have to do the sentiment analysis, like when you're talking, it will analyze either you're talking rightly or wrongly. Speech recognition, again, like It is also used in the voice assistant like transcription services and speech to text application. Object detection, it is again the similar to the machine learning, but it has the advanced version for the deep learning. Facial recognition is identify, verify an individual based on the facial feature. Used in security system, unblocking device, and also personalized experiences. Generative adversarial network. So it's generating new realistic data by pitting two neural network against each other, used in generative synthetic images, videos, and art. Recommendation system, again similar to the machine learning. Then we have sentiment segmentation, and so it's assigning the uh, semantic label to the each pixel in an image used in advanced image understanding task. The style transfer, like you can transfer the style as well. Autonomous vehicle, so it is also deep learning is using because it need more advanced to use the neural network because it's doing the real time image classification and image recognition, or maybe the video recognition. Drug discoveries, so these are also one of the application. Medical diagnosis, game AI, like training the DL models, deep learning models, to play the games and achieve the superhuman performance, such as DeepMind AlphaGo. This is one of the game. Advanced chatbot, which is creating the conversational agent that can interact with the user and answer the queries. Music generation. So there is also some application in this. You can generate the new music composition using the deep learning model. So it has the previous experiences as well. So that is all about the differences between artificial intelligence, machine learning, deep learning, and generative AI. I hope you have understand and your mindset is clear on these three or four models, what it is and how they can be used in what extent. So let's say if you have a lot of data, so you can go for deep learning, and also if you need neural network processing in your research, then you can do that. Otherwise, artificial intelligence and machine learning is good enough. Then deep learning is obviously more effective. So, but obviously we have to start from the AI machine learning, then go to deep dive into deep learning algorithm. So in some of the videos, I will also explain about the algorithms, how many algorithms we have, and how we can utilize them for using machine learning, deep learning, and also generative AI. But that's all. Thank you so much and have a good day.